Peru News Today. All you need to know about Peru.
Milett Figueroa will have a program on Argentine television and rules out help from Marcelo Tinelli.
Peru.
Milett Figueroa will have a program on Argentine television and rules out help from Marcelo Tinelli. With a release scheduled for April, Milett Figueroa is at the peak of a career. Milett Figueroa is ready to return in style to the television scene in Argentina. The Peruvian model, known for her recent participation in the reality show Bailando 2023, has been selected to host a new program that will try to capture the greatest affinity of the Argentine public. The rise of Milett Figueroa. With a premiere scheduled for April, Milett Figueroa is at the peak of a career that she has built based on charisma and effort. However, her popularity has not been without controversies that revolve around her relationship with Marcelo Tinelli, a prominent figure on Argentine television. In that sense, Milett Figueroa has been emphatic in denying that her success is due to her relationship with the famous Argentine presenter, ensuring that her talent and perseverance have been the true reasons for achieving fame. The age difference between Milett Figueroa and Marcelo Tinelli, 32 years, has been a topic of conversation. However, she has reaffirmed the following in the face of criticism and comments on social networks: "I entered Bailando through the front door. I have no reason to be ashamed of my partner." A new challenge for Milett Figueroa. Milett Figueroa, who gained international popularity for her participation in Bailando 2023, is now preparing to take over the hosting of her own program on Argentine television. This project represents a milestone in her career and consolidates her as a television figure in the country of tango. "I'm going back to do some tests, some pilots in America from Argentina," said Milett Figueroa. Her determination and dedication have led her to conquer a space on the small screen, and her charisma promises to connect with the audience. After her time on the reality show Bailando 2023, Milett Figueroa continues working on her personal growth and hinted that she will travel to Gaucho lands to host a television program. After her time on the reality show Bailando 2023, Milett Figueroa continues working on her personal growth and hinted that she will travel to Gaucho lands to host a television program. "I'm coming back to do some tests, some pilots who are coming to America from there in Argentina," said the Peruvian model, thus confirming the rumors about her debut on the channel where her boyfriend works. The actress also took advantage of the cameras of America Espectáculos to respond to her detractors, who claim that she became known thanks to her relationship with Marcelo Tinelli. There is nothing wrong with starting a relationship with someone in the media because I have never stopped working. I work before and after being with him. I do feel that I could become better known, but I entered through Bailando, through the front door, said Milett Figueroa. Lima Alliance vs Fluminense, blue and white debut today for the 2024 Copa Libertadores in Matute. Lima Alliance vs Fluminense, blue and white debut today for the 2024 Copa Libertadores in Matute. Follow the incidents of Alianza Lima against Fluminense at the Alejandro Villanueva Stadium. The blue and white debut against the current champion of the Copa Libertadores. Lima Alliance vs Fluminense will face each other live and live this week as part of Day 1 of Group A of the Copa Libertadores 2024. The Alianza Lima match against the Fluminense store is scheduled for Wednesday, April 3 at the Alejandro Villanueva Stadium in La Victoria, in Peruvian time at 7:30 p.m. The Intimates, at the moment, have a modest start in the Apertura tournament of League 1, with 5 victories in 9 games, which places them in 6th position with 15 units. Thus, the technical director of Alianza, the Colombian Alejandro Restrepo, has prepared the team with his most internationally experienced figures to receive the flu, which arrives in Lima with several casualties in its starting team. When does Alianza Lima play versus Fluminense? The match between Alianza Lima versus Fluminense will be played this Wednesday, April 3 at the Alejandro Villanueva Stadium, Matute. What time does Alianza Lima versus play Fluminense? The match between Alianza Lima vs Fluminense plays at 7:30 p.m., Peruvian time. The schedules in other parts of the world are as follows. Peru, 7:30 p.m. Brazil, 9:30 p.m. Ecuador, 7:30 p.m. Colombia, 7:30 p.m. Argentina, 9:30 p.m. Chile, 9:30 p.m. Brazil, 9:30 p.m. Uruguay, 9:30 p.m. Mexico, 6:30 p.m. United States, Miami, 8:30 p.m. United States, Los Angeles, 5:30 p.m. Spain, 2:30 a.m., Thursday, April 4th. The previous. After the 3-0 victory against Los Chancas, the current Peruvian runner-up will line up the Argentine nationalized Peruvian Hernan Barcos and the Panamanian Cecilio Waterman in the attack, while the Uruguayan Sebastián Rodríguez will be located in the midfield. In the defense of the blue and white, Restrepo will call on Carlos Zambrano, scorer of 2 of the goals against Los Chancas, due to his experience in the Libertadores both with his current club and with his previous team, Boca Juniors. At the head of Alianza Lima will be Fluminense, directed by Fernando Diniz, who will begin their participation in Group A with the mission of ratifying the 2023 title and continuing to be a benchmark in continental football. The Rio de Janeiro team arrives in Lima after being eliminated from the Carioca Championship final by Flamengo in a goalless match. For the Copa Libertadores, the club arrived in Lima with its star Marcelo, former Real Madrid, and Douglas Costa, but without the scorer Herman Cano, Paulo Henrique Gonçalves, and John Kennedy. Both Kennedy and Diogo Barbosa were expelled in the Recopa Sudamericana against Liga de Quito and must serve the CONMEBOL sanction on the state. Likewise, Kino had an injury that keeps him out of the games. Defender Marlon is also injured in his knee, and Paulo Henrique Gonçalves is recovering from a muscle injury. Lima Alliance vs Fluminense, possible lineups for the Copa Libertadores match. Lima Alliance, Angelo Campos, Giovanni Ramos, Carlos Zambrano, Renzo Garces, Marco Guamon, Jesus Castillo, Catriel Cabellos, Sebastián Rodríguez, Juan Pablo Freites, Cecilio Waterman. Fluminense, Fabio, Samuel Xavier, Thiago Santos, Felipe Melo, Marcelo, Martinelli, Andre, Renato Augusto, John Arias, Lele, Douglas Costa. Where to watch Alianza Lima against Fluminense via TV for Libertadores. The match between Alianza Lima vs Fluminense for the Copa Libertadores will be broadcast live on ESPN and Star Plus signals. You can also listen to the match live on RPP's 89.7 FM and 7:30 AM with a double from Tunche. Universitario defeated LDU de Quito 2-1 for the Copa Libertadores, the double from Tunche. Universitario defeated LDU de Quito 2-1 for the Copa Libertadores. Sports University won its Copa Libertadores debut. The Creams managed to add their first 3 points against LDU de Quito, but they did not have an easy time because in the first half they suffered a disallowed goal and a score against by Quiñones. However, in the second half, Tunche Rivera appeared twice to give Fabian Bustos' team the victory. First with a header at 50 minutes and then at 70. Now, the Peruvian soccer champions will face Junior in Colombia on April 9. Jose Rivera was the great figure of this great game in 8, where the Merengues achieved a valuable victory in their cup debut. Now his next rival will be Junior from Barranquilla. Universitario defeated LDU Quito 2-1 at the Monumental de 8 Stadium for the first day of Group D of the Copa Libertadores 2024. Jose Rivera was the great architect of the match by scoring a double that helped the Creams get their 3 first points in the CONMEBOL tournament. Lionel Quiñones, 29, opened the scoring for the Ecuadorian team with a violent shot that goalkeeper Sebastián Britos could not save. It deflected slightly off Andy Polo. But Tunche appeared twice, 49 and 70, and ended up giving victory to Fabian Bustos' team. Alianza Lima tied 1-1 with Fluminense in Group A of the Copa Libertadores. Alianza Lima tied 1-1 with Fluminense for Group A of the Copa Libertadores. Alianza Lima and Fluminense tied 1-1 at the start of the Copa Libertadores 2024. The great figure of the match was Kevin Serna. Draw with a taste of defeat. Alianza Lima, as a local, tied 1-1 with Fluminense in the first match of Group A of the Copa Libertadores 2024. Even though the Flu largely dominated the actions, Alianza defended with solvency in the background, to the point that in the first half they did not suffer a single shot on goal and managed to launch counterattacks with speed against their bewildered rival. At 19, Serna launched a deep counterattack, but in one-on-one his shot ended up in the hands of goalkeeper Fabio. Alianza maintained its concentration in the background to avoid clear options from its rivals and look for a counterattack, until in the 25th minute Serna sent another shot from the edge of the area that again forced Fabio to make maximum efforts. However, when 35 minutes were played, the intractable Serna started in another counterattack after receiving a pass from Panamanian Cecilio Waterman and beat Fabio with a low-end corner shot from the line of the area. Despite the unfavorable result, Fluminense was not able to create any risky option in the rival goal during the rest of the first half and, rather, it was Waterman who wasted the option of increasing the score at the end, by finishing in a defective after a luxury play by Serna. The Panamanian forward had another very clear opportunity 1 minute into the second half, but he shot wide from an unbeatable position when he was alone in front of Fabio. At 67, Serna was replaced by Franco Zainolato, so the locals lost their most dangerous player. 4 minutes later, in Fluminense's first clear option in the entire match, Marquinhos headed a ball from a corner kick and tied the game. With an offensive team sent by Fernando Diniz in the second half, the Brazilians attacked with greater intensity, but once again crashed against the solid local defense, which even had another clear option when Waterman sent a powerful shot that passed very close to the goal rival. Lima Alliance vs Fluminense, confirmed lineups. Lima Alliance, Angelo Campos, Marco Wamon, Carlos Zambrano, Renzo Garces, Giovanni Ramos, Juan Pablo Freites, Catriel Cabellos, Jesus Castillo, Sebastián Rodriguez, Kevin Serna and Cecilio Waterman. Fluminense, Fabio, Samuel, Thiago Santos, Felipe Melo, Marcelo, Andre, Martinelli, John Arias, Renato Augusto, Marquinhos, Lele. Flor Sheyza, popular singer known as Muñequita Milly, died at the age of 23. Sheyza, popular singer known as Muñequita Milly, died at the age of 23. Milly doll lost her life after undergoing liposuction. The case is under investigation. The singer's family accuses Dr. Fong of having committed malpractice. The death of the singer Flor Sheyza Quispsukapuka, known artistically as Muñequita Milly, was confirmed at the age of 23. Although the cause of her death is under investigation, The artist's family accuses Dr. Victor Barriga-Fung of alleged medical malpractice related to a cosmetic intervention. The first information indicates that the interpreter underwent liposuction last Thursday, March 28 at the Santa Catalina Clinic, located in the Lima district of La Victoria. According to Wilfredo Quispe, the artist's boyfriend, the aforementioned doctor operated on her for the second time due to malpractice. However, due to severe pain after the operation, last Monday she was transferred to a clinic in the Lima district of Miraflores, where she finally lost her life on Wednesday, April 3 at 7 in the morning. There has been negligence here and we want justice. From the first day of the intervention, she was unwell, her stomach hurt, declared Wilfredo Quispe, the artist's boyfriend. The event has shocked the artistic world and the public in general. On social networks, several users reacted with messages of regret towards the popular Milly doll. "Fly high, doll, we will miss you, no one has their life bought. Today we are there, tomorrow who knows, that's what life is about, I can't believe it, why would such a young girl with a beautiful voice," read the artist's social networks. They will investigate the cause of Muñequita Milly's death. Muñequita Milly's family was at the clinic in the Lima district of Miraflores together with the police and the prosecutor's office, who authorized the transfer of her body to the Central Morgue of Lima. As announced by the singer's defense, a legal autopsy was requested to determine the cause of death and the corresponding responsibility. It is worth remembering that surgeon Victor Barriga-Fung, or simply Dr. Fung, as he calls himself on social networks, is known for having treated several local entertainment figures. However, he has also been accused of malpractice in the cases of actress Marcelo Tinelli and model Sheila Rojas, who underwent aesthetic interventions under his responsibility. Who is Milly doll? Born on December 18, 2000 in the district of Yanaguaya, province of Sandia, in Puno, Muñequita Milly discovered her passion for art at an early age. At the age of 5 she even participated in a musical contest during the anniversary of her homeland. Since then, she managed to captivate the public with her talent and charisma on stage. Among her hits are I Think of You, Now She Suffers, My Beer, I Feel Like I Can't Live Without You, among others. In the musical environment I feel very safe, because wherever I go, my dad, who is my manager, and my brother Oliver Jamie, who apart from being the keyboardist of the group, are always with me, are the composer of my songs, she said in an interview collected by Radio Miss Peru. Earthquake in Taiwan on April 3, 2024. Earthquake in Taiwan on April 3, 2024. At least 9 people have died after a 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck off the east coast of Taiwan on Wednesday, the strongest in 25 years. Rescuers worked to free dozens of people trapped after the earthquake caused landslides and collapsed structures. More than 900 people were injured and more than 100 buildings damaged. The earthquake was followed by strong aftershocks, including a magnitude 6.5 tremor. Multiple aftershocks of up to magnitude 7 are expected in the coming days. Taiwan, Japan and the Philippines canceled tsunami warnings issued after the earthquake. The epicenter, Hualien County, is home to around 300,000 of the 23 million people living in Taiwan, a self-governing democracy with a huge impact on global business and trade. Rescue efforts are focused on the dozens of miners trapped in the Hualien quarry. Rescue efforts in Taiwan are focused this Thursday on the more than 60 people trapped in a quarry in Hualien and on reaching those who have been isolated in the gorges of the surrounding mountains, according to authorities. A drone from CNN affiliate CTS showed workers from the damaged quarry perched on the edge of a steep cliff above the gorge. One person was killed by falling rocks in a second quarry, although 6 other workers were rescued. Dramatic video from the fire agency shows a helicopter lifting them off a narrow rock outcropping high in the mountains. There were too many rocks, like bullets falling from above. We didn't know where to run. We were all scared, a worker who was rescued from the Janha open pit mine told CNN affiliate Set News. For an earthquake of such magnitude, the number of victims remains relatively low and the damage appears limited. In addition to the 9 dead, there are 1,050 injured and 46 missing or uncontactable. According to Taiwan's National Fire Agency, 101 people remain trapped or stranded. Taiwan earthquake survivor, all my life's work has vanished. By Helen Regan, Nectar Gone, Gladdest Sigh. Aftershocks shook Taiwan a day after a strong 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit southern Hualien County, the worst affected region, killing at least 9 people, collapsing buildings and triggering landslides. About 300,000 people live in the earthquake region, a third of them in the city of Hualien. Hualien resident Hong Cheng-yi told CNN that his liquor store was in one of the buildings collapsed by the quake. All my belongings, including all my supplies on the bottom floor, were destroyed, he said. My mind went blank as I saw that all my life's work had vanished. Stores that have been in business for over a decade have disappeared in one morning. It's painful to see. But people are safe, so it's lucky, she said. Widespread destruction, the full extent of the damage is still being assessed, with road and some railway closures restricting access to Hualien. But videos and images show several collapsed buildings in the region, and stretches of the Suhua Highway, a narrow, windy cliff road connecting Hualien to northern Taiwan, completely crumbled or blocked by large boulders and rock falls. The 7.4 magnitude earthquake that caused at least 9 deaths and hundreds of injuries on Wednesday is the strongest to hit Taiwan in the last 25 years. In the last 50 years, the island has suffered a total of 7 large earthquakes. The last one was a magnitude 7.1 in 2006 in Pingtung County, southern Taiwan. The island is located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, which makes it prone to earthquakes. Search and rescue efforts continue after the Taiwan earthquake that left more than 1,000 injured and 101 people trapped. 9 people have died after the Taiwan earthquake, 1,050 are injured and 101 people remain trapped as of Thursday morning, the National Fire Agency said, citing Taiwan's Ministry of Health and Welfare. 46 people remain missing or unreachable as of Thursday morning's update. A total of 961 people have been evacuated and 628 are in shelters, according to the statement from the National Fire Agency. Taiwan's Central News Agency reported Thursday that most of those killed in the quake, including hikers, road workers and people at tourist attractions in mountainous areas, were killed by falling rocks. CNN affiliate SET reported that a woman died in the partially collapsed Uranus building after she initially escaped but went back inside to rescue her cat. Lin Chi-ching of the Hualien branch of the Taiwan Professional Association of Civil Engineers said Thursday morning that search and rescue operations were underway and that 100 buildings had so far been classified as dangerous and some would have to be demolished. Yesterday, demolition work began on a dozen buildings. The National Fire Agency declared that 770 buildings had been destroyed in the affected areas. The Hualien Fire Bureau said it had rescued 11 tourists, including 3 foreigners, in Taroko Gorge National Park. The National Fire Agency published a video in which a helicopter was seen flying over a quarry where 6 people were trapped. They were all rescued. Rescuers are working to free dozens of people trapped after a magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck off Taiwan's east coast on Wednesday, the strongest in 25 years. At least 9 people were killed, more than 900 injured and more than 100 buildings were damaged in the earthquake, which also caused landslides. The earthquake was followed by strong aftershocks, including a magnitude 6.5 tremor. Multiple aftershocks of magnitude 7 are expected in the coming days. Saudi Arabia will participate for the first time in Miss Universe with model Rumy al Qahtani. Saudi Arabia will participate for the first time in Miss Universe with model Rumy al Qahtani. Rumy al Qahtani has more than 1 million followers on Instagram and 200,000 on X, where she has posted an image in which she holds the flag of the Saudi Kingdom. Saudi Arabia will compete for the first time in the Miss Universe International Beauty Pageant and will be represented by the 27-year-old model Rumy al Qahtani, as she herself announced in a publication on the social network Instagram. The content creator, born in Riyadh, said that the opportunity is an honor and noted that this is Saudi Arabia's first participation in the competition. Qahtani has already been awarded on other catwalks such as Miss Arab World Peace and holds the titles of Miss Saudi Arabia, Miss Middle East, and Miss Woman, the latter 3 last year. Rumy al Qahtani has more than 1 million followers on Instagram and 200,000 on X, where she has posted an image in which she holds the flag of the Saudi kingdom. With Qahtani, the monarchy of the Persian Gulf, very conservative with respect to the rights and image of women, joins Bahrain, which has already participated in the world contest for 3 years. Miss Universe eliminates the age limit to participate in the pageant. In an official statement issued in September 2023, the Miss Universe organization announced a surprising change in its rules of participation starting with the 2024 edition. This decision marks a milestone in the history of the beauty pageant by opening the doors to women of any age who have turned 18 years old to compete. This change will apply to all 2024 pageants worldwide. From then on, all adult women in the world will be able to compete to be Miss Universe, reads a publication on the organization's official account. Until now, the organization's rules specified that candidates must be between 18 and 28 years old as of January 1st of the year in which they competed. Miss Universe, Rabani Gabriel, became the oldest woman to be crowned at almost 29 years old. This change represents a significant break with one of the strictest and most entrenched rules in the history of Miss Universe, and now women over 30 will be able to aspire to the coveted beauty crown. When and where will Miss Universe 2024 be? The 73rd edition of Miss Universe will take place on September 28 in Mexico and will be the one in which the previous winner, the Nicaraguan Chianis Palacios, will crown her successor. It is estimated that more than 500 million people follow the popular beauty contest live every year. Miss and Mr. Supranational 2024, NATHALY TERRONES and Joel FARACH were the winners. Miss and Mr. Supranational 2024, NATHALY TERRONES and Joel FARACH were the winners. NATHALY TERRONES and Joel FARACH were crowned as the new Miss and Mr. Supranational 2024, during the celebration that took place on April 3rd. Both will bear the name of Peru and will represent us in the international competition that will take place in Poland. In this event, Terrones finally took the crown and took the place of Valeria Flores. The final of the contest took place inside the BTH Hotel. Kimberly Perez, Camila Bernal and Natalie Terrones were finalists in the contest, who finally took first place. Meanwhile, Mr. Supranational 2024 was contested between the finalists Nicolas Ortega and Joel FARACH, where the economist took the crown. Both will have to travel to Poland this year to seek the international crown of this important contest in which select models from more than 70 participating countries will participate. This Tuesday, April 2nd, the stage of Miss Supranational Peru 2024 was dressed up to find Valeria Flores' successor. At the event, women from various parts of the country demonstrated their beauty, intelligence and social commitment, with the aim of obtaining the title and the opportunity to represent Peru at Miss Supranational 2024, to be held in Novi Sacz, Poland. The beauty contest took place in 3 crucial phases for choosing the winner: the presentation in a swimsuit, the parade and evening dress and the question round, which allowed the contestants to present their positions on issues of social relevance. This methodology sought to evaluate the candidates' runway, as well as their ability to articulate ideas. I have many years of experience as a serum doctor and COVID doctor in a pandemic. I have cared for patients in rural areas, oncology patients, pediatric patients and the elderly abandoned to their fate. It is sad to tell you that, in order to take them to a hospital, we had and have to do it in decaying ambulances. The reality of health in our country is unfortunate. As a doctor and as Miss Supranational Peru, I want to raise my voice in protest. I want girls to not only see me and say they want to be like me, but I want them to see me as a person who inspires others. Natalie Terrones answered about the social problem he wishes to address during his reign. At the end of one night, the members of the jury determined that Natalie Terrones, the representative of Lima, was the deserving one of the crown. Second place went to Camila Bernal, candidate from Lima Este, and third place went to Kimberly Perez, candidate from Lima Centro. Valeria Flores, who achieved an outstanding place in the top 12 at Miss Supranational 2023, gave her crown to Natalie Terrones, the new representative of Peru in the international contest. The ceremony concluded with Terrones' first catwalk as the winner, An emblematic moment that symbolizes the beginning of her reign, and also with the appearance of Jessica Newton, director of Miss Peru. Who is Nathaly Terrones? Nathaly Andrea Terrones Sierra is a Peruvian doctor, soprano saxophonist, volunteer firefighter and model, graduated from the Scientific University of the South. At 27 years old, she has extensive experience in beauty pageants, being crowned Miss Lima Centro 2016 and Miss Peru Lima S 2022. She has participated in the Miss Peru 2023 national contest, finishing as second finalist. She will now represent Peru at Miss Supranational 2024, which will take place on July 6 in Poland. It is known that Nathaly Terrones, originally from Lima, is currently in a relationship with Martí Cobo, who works as a psychologist and senior soccer coach, in addition to holding the position of sports director of the RCD Español de Barcelona Academy located in New Jersey. Now Joel FARACH Marquina is the representative of Callao and winner of the Mr. Supranational 2024, who is 1.87 tall and 32 years old. According to the information there is about him on LinkedIn, he is an economist who graduated from the Las Peruanas University in 2018 and last year he completed a diploma in maritime, port and fisheries management at the National Merchant Marine School, INAM, and another in business finance at the Lima Chamber of Commerce, CCL. Since the age of 19, FARACH has been working as a haute couture and commercial model. He has worked with brands, such as the French Givenchy for its perfume line and with Boss of the German fashion house Hugo Boss. An analysis of the Mr. and Miss Supranational contest, despite its fusion of categories, exhibited a series of shortcomings that did not go unnoticed. The lack of preparation and low production were evident, pointing to a clear absence of individualized direction for each candidate. Improvisation reigned among the male participants, who struggled to do the best with the limited resources available. This deficiency in direction was evident in all aspects of the event, from the scenery to the costumes that did not properly fit either the Misters or the Misses, evidencing a lack of attention to detail that is crucial in the professionalization of any event of this caliber. The emotional weakness and lack of physical and catwalk preparation among the candidates were equally noticeable, suggesting an absence of a rigorous selection process. Even the winner, although possessing undeniable facial beauty, exhibited signs of cellulite, which indicates a lack of judgment in the selection of the participants. This mistake was also reflected in the winner of the Mr. Supranational Peru title, whose suit unfortunately did not fit correctly, a detail that should not go unnoticed in an event of this magnitude. It is unfortunate that an event of such prestige and international relevance as the Supranational is marred by such obvious deficiencies. The pageant director should take responsibility for the lack of quality in the organization, especially considering the importance of choosing suitable representatives for an event of such magnitude. This situation calls into question the seriousness and commitment of the organizers, especially when compared to the quality of similar events carried out in other countries. Ultimately, the need for a thorough review and a more professional approach in the organization of future editions of the event is imperative to maintain the prestige and relevance of the event internationally. Tineli's daughters do not approve of her relationship with Milett. Tineli's daughters do not approve of her relationship with Milett. Marcelo Tinelli confirms that his daughters do not approve of his relationship with Milett Figueroa. Mine is not easy. Rumors of a strong crisis in the relationship between presenter Marcelo Tinelli and model Milett Figueroa continue to grow. Given this, the Argentine host Marina Calabro contacted the businessman about her love situation and messages confirmed that her daughters do not get along with the Peruvian woman. Let us remember that the Argentine media on previous occasions have mentioned that Tinelli's conceited women do not agree with his father's relationship, because they consider that the former reality girl is interested. Marcelo Tinelli accepts that his daughters do not accept Milett Figueroa. In the conversation that Calabro had with Tinelli, the businessman made it clear that he is still dating the former participant of El Gran Chef, Famosos. However, they are not having a good time because their older daughters oppose their relationship. I'm still dating. What happens is that Yanni doesn't love Milett. I fought against it. Mine is not easy at all. Between my daughters and Yanni they bite me. I don't choose any of my daughters' boyfriends, I don't cut or puncture, Tinelli wrote in the messages. On the other hand, Yanina Latorre said that the former Esto Esquerra participant revealed to her that she has an agreed conversation with the businessman. I asked her about Milett and she told me, we are going to see each other in Buenos Aires and we have a pending talk. For me there is no crisis, there they have the illusion of reconnecting, she explained. Marcelo Tinelli explains why Milett Figueroa did not travel with him to Spain. Marcelo Tinelli decided to make it clear that his trip to the old continent was thanks to Amazon Prime, because the platform invited him to spend his birthday with his children and take the opportunity to record his series. I'm on the plane flying to Madrid. Amazon takes me to celebrate my birthday, with some of my children, for the reality show Los Tinelli. Then I return to Argentina and obviously I continue in America, said Tinelli for the Argentine program El Run del Espectáculo. Now, Milett Figueroa would have had a strong argument with Marcelo Tinelli's daughter amid rumors of a crisis. Milett Figueroa would have had a heated argument with one of the daughters of her current partner, Marcelo Tinelli. This incident would have occurred at a time when rumors about an end to the romance between Tinelli and Figueroa are intensifying. The couple, who have been the subject of constant media attention, appear to be going through a turbulent period, which has called into question whether they are still in a romantic relationship. Next, what the Argentine press said about what happened between the Peruvian model and Marcelo's there. Was there a strong argument between Marcelo Tinelli's daughter and Milett Figueroa? The altercation between Milett Figueroa and Marcelo Tinelli's daughter, whose identity has not been revealed, would have occurred during the reality show Los Tinelli, which has not yet seen the light of day. This was announced by the Argentine journalist Ángel de Brito in his program Lamb. There is a part in the reality show, that's what they told me, that there is a strong argument between Milett and one of her daughters. Why don't they smoke Milett? Were the words of the TV presenter. All about Miss International Queen 2024. Miss International Queen 2024. Miss International Queen is the world's largest beauty pageant for transgender women from different parts of the world. The pageant was established in 2004 with the mission of LGBTQ and transgender awareness and equality in both society and the workforce, while all monetary profits from the royal televised show go to the Royal Charity AIDS Foundation of Thailand. The current Miss International Queen, corresponding to the year 2023, is Solange Degger from the Netherlands. The beauty pageant was established with the intention to provide an international competition for transgender women from around the world and provide an opportunity for transgender women to be more accepted in the world today, to create transgender rights, awareness among international communities and to build friendship and exchange of ideas among international lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender/transsexual communities. Contest requirements. Candidates must have been male by birth, may be preoperative or postoperative, and be between 18 and 35 years old. Additionally, candidates can only represent their country of birth or the country listed on their passport and must not have previously joined any publication. Website: adult film, prostitution showing nudity. Previous winners or runners-up cannot rejoin. Repeat non-placement candidates may resubmit their credentials and application. Only about 25 chosen semi-final candidates would go on to compete in the final round and must participate in 2 weeks of activities, photo shoots, lunches with city officials, dinner with the press, sponsor visits and community outreach, conditions similar to competitors in other beauty pageants. The final show will be broadcast on Thai television and streamed live online. Award and Crown Design. In 2011, the Miss International Queen crown was redesigned for a butterfly inspiration and Lady Liberty's crown. Butterflies were meant to symbolize the beauty found in nature and the idea of rebirth. The crown remains with the Miss International Queen organization at an estimated value of $10,000. The winner of Miss International Queen receives a cash prize of 450,000 Thai baht, approximately $15,000, many gifts from sponsors, an apartment at Woodlands Resort Pattaya during her reign, and memories that will last a lifetime. Miss International Queen is a registered trademark and non-profit sector of organizer Tiffany's Show Pattaya Company, Limited, the world's largest transgender cabaret show since 1974 and sponsored by the Tourism Authority of Thailand. All monetary proceeds from the final televised show go to the Royal Thai AIDS Charity Foundation. Transgender pageant cases. Recent events have drawn attention to the treatment of transgender candidates and how their personal identification affects their eligibility. There have been cases where transgender and transsexual pageant winners have lost their title for not being transgender enough. On the other hand, some contestants have also been disqualified from cisgender female pageants for not being a native woman. In 2012, Gina Talikova, who participated in Miss International Queen in 2010, was disqualified from Miss Universe Canada for competing as a woman when she was born a man. Talikova's supporters argue that there were no rules explicitly prohibiting transsexuals from competing. Talikova joined the Miss International Queen 2010 competition. This instance sparked a debate about how Talikova's gender identification affected her eligibility to compete in both competitions. Ella Talikova argued that if she was transgender, she could participate in transgender pageants. At the same time, if she identified as a woman, she would have had the right to fairly participate in the Miss Universe Canada competition. The case of Gina Talikova is one that sheds light on public perception and personal opinions related to transsexuals competing in beauty pageants. A similar case occurred later in 2016 when Miss Transgender UK winner Jidara Lotto was stripped of her title after pageant organizers claimed she was not living full-time as a woman. This was after images of Lotto walking around in boxers instead of women's underwear were discovered. Lotto was branded as a drag queen rather than a transgender woman and proceeded to lose her pageant title and her winnings. Lotto pledged to walk 30 miles in high heels in honor of trans rights after the allegations. Other Talikova and Lotto cases raise the question of who is eligible to win a cisgender contest and also what requirements or standards must be met for a transgender winner to retain her title. Candidates are eligible to compete and win the title of Miss International Queen if they were born male and their sexual or gender identification is that of a female. These recent events have sparked a debate about social inclusion and equality that is associated with an individual's sexual and gender identification. Miss International Queen is owned by Tiffany's show in Pattaya City, Thailand. Its Thai candidates qualify for the competition by winning the title of Miss Tiffany's Universe, which is also owned by Tiffany's show Pattaya Company Limited. There has been controversy over the appearance and race of each year's winners. In its entirety, a trans woman from the African diaspora won the crown for the first time in 2019. In Miss International Queen, different types of awards and titles are also awarded to the candidates who stand out within the concentration for the organizers, their companions, the press and the jury. Among the special awards given are, Best Talent, Best National Costume, Best in Evening Gown, Miss Friendship, Miss Photogenic, among others. Peru shocked, Ecuadorian police stormed the Mexican embassy. Peru shocked, Ecuador managed to imprison Jorge Glass amid criticism for attacking the Mexican embassy. After having spent all morning in the flagrancy unit of Quito, Jorge Glass was transferred by plane to the maximum security prison of La Roca, located in the prison complex of the city of Guayaquil and reserved for the most dangerous prisoners. The government of the President of Ecuador, Daniel Noboa, achieved its objective of returning Jorge Glass, former Vice President of Rafael Correa, to prison, but at the cost of breaking diplomatic relations with Mexico and Nicaragua and receiving an almost unanimous condemnation from the international community for having invaded the Mexican embassy to arrest him, when the government of Andrés Manuel López Obrador had already granted him political asylum. After having spent all morning in the flagrancy unit of Quito, Glass was transferred this Saturday by plane to the maximum security prison of La Roca, located in the prison complex of the city of Guayaquil and reserved for the most dangerous prisoners. The former vice president was under an arrest warrant and placed in preventive detention in the case of the reconstruction of the coastal province of Manabi, the most affected by the strong earthquake of 2016, where he is accused of alleged embezzlement of public funds. He also had to return to prison to finish serving an 8-year prison sentence for 2 convictions for bribery and illicit association after not receiving the prison benefit of pre-release, after having combined the two sentences and having served nearly 5 years in prison, between 2017 and 2022. Since mid-December 2023, he had stayed at the Mexican embassy in Quito to request political asylum by declaring himself as politically persecuted and a victim of lawfare, use of the judicial apparatus against political adversaries, which was granted to him on Friday. Asylum to Glass was granted by Mexico at the moment of greatest tension in relations with Ecuador, after the Noboa government expelled the ambassador, Raquel Surer, in response to statements by President López Obrador that linked the murder of the candidate presidential Fernando Villavicencio with the electoral victory of Noboa against the Carista candidate Luisa González. Forced entry into embassy. A few hours later, the National Police of Ecuador broke into the Mexican embassy to arrest Glass, in an act that the Mexican government described as a violation of its sovereignty and international law, which is why it broke diplomatic relations with the Andean country. At the end of February, the Ecuadorian Foreign Ministry had asked the Mexican ambassador for permission to enter the diplomatic headquarters to arrest Glass, but did not receive a positive response. Both former President Rafael Correa, 2007 to 2017, and his Citizen Revolution Party have denounced that Glass was allegedly beaten during the hours he spent in detention and held the government of President Daniel Noboa responsible for any impact on Glass' physical and psychological health. The damage to the country's reputation is immense, I think irreparable in the short term, he said in a video conference interview with AFE, where he noted that it is technically a kidnapping in foreign territory of a person who had been granted political asylum. Government of Ecuador saw risk of flight. The government of Ecuador, which had already anticipated that it would not grant safe passage for Glass to leave the country if asylum was granted, assured this Saturday that it was aware of the risk of Glass' imminent escape from the country, which is why he broke into the embassy by force. This was stated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ecuador, Gabriela Sommerfeld, in a press statement in which she insisted that her government exhausted dialogue with the Mexican executive before ordering the police raid on the Mexican embassy in Quito. It was known of a real risk of imminent flight of the citizen required by justice, which is why the Ecuadorian security force has acted to comply with a court order to capture Glass in a case of embezzlement, the chancellor added in her appearance, who did not accept questions from the press. Sommerfeld insisted on the Ecuadorian government's position that a criminal cannot be considered politically persecuted, considering that this distorts the concept of asylum. The OAS calls a meeting to address the crisis. International reactions to the forced entry into the Mexican embassy in Quito began to mount this Saturday, led by the OAS, which in a statement condemned the event. In a statement, the OAS expressed its rejection of any action that violates or puts at risk the inviolability enjoyed by diplomatic missions and reiterated the obligation that all states have not to invoke norms of domestic law to justify the failure to comply with its international obligations. In this context, the General Secretariat expressed its solidarity with those who were victims of the inappropriate actions that affected the Mexican embassy in Ecuador. The Secretary-General of the OAS, Luis Almagro, urged Mexico and Ecuador to dialogue and anticipated that he will request a meeting of the organization's Permanent Council to address tensions between both countries. More countries reject entry to embassy. The U.S. State Department condemned the violation of the Vienna Convention, which governs diplomatic relations, and urged Washington's two allies to resolve their differences in accordance with international standards. The governments of Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Cuba, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Dominican Republic, Uruguay and Venezuela also condemned the incident. Milett Figueroa and Marcelo Tinelli separate after 5 months of relationship, they announce in Argentina, that is over. Milett Figueroa and Marcelo Tinelli separate after 5 months of relationship, they announce in Argentina, that is over. The journalist Janina Latorre, a close friend of Marcelo Tinelli, exclusively confirmed the separation of the controversial couple. Everything has its end. Milett Figueroa and Marcelo Tinelli ended their love relationship after just 5 months, as they announced on Mirtha Legrand's program in Argentina. Journalist Yanina Latorre, a close friend of the presenter, exclusively confirmed the separation of the controversial couple. Did Marcelo Tinelli break up with the Peruvian woman? Was the question that Mirtha Legrand asked him, and Yanina answered very confidently yes, although she avoided providing more details. "I can't sell to the source, but that is settled." It should be noted that Yanina Latorre is very close to the Tinellis, and on more than one occasion she has provided details of the arrangements between Marcelo's daughters and the Peruvian Milett Figueroa. Milett Figueroa is still in Peru and has no date to return to Argentina. During the fortnight of March, Milett Figueroa arrived in Peru to fulfill some work commitments and the promotion of her film, although she herself said that she would be in Argentina on April 1 to celebrate Marcelo Tinelli's birthday. That did not happen. In the Desperate program, Mercedes Cordero revealed that she contacted Papelito Cáceres, Milett's manager, who confirmed that the sensual Peruvian has no return date to Argentina. According to Papelito, she returned on the 31st and first celebrated her birthday with Marcelo. That did not happen because Milett is still in Peru and Marcelo did not even stop in Buenos Aires, he landed directly in Spain, she said. Marcelo Tinelli confirms that his daughters do not love Milett Figueroa. A few days ago, Marcelo Tinelli confirmed that his daughters do not approve of his relationship with Milett Figueroa. The couple made their romance official in November 2023, and although they spent New Year's parties together, the Argentine presenter celebrated his birthday with his children and without the model. Marcelo Tinelli's friends showed their conversations where he explained what is happening with his love life. "What happens is that Yanni doesn't love Milett. I had a hard time. Mine is not easy at all. Between my daughters and Yanni, they bite me. I don't choose any of my daughters' boyfriends, I don't cut or spike," was what the Argentine divo said. Oliver Sonne great goal from Chalaca in Silkeborg IF duel. Oliver Sonne great goal from Chalaca in Silkeborg IF duel. It has chocolate. Oliver Sonne excelled with a great goal from Chalaca in a duel against Silkeborg IF. Oliver Sonne surprised with this play in the clash between Silkeborg IF against Brøndby in the Danish Super League. Oliver Sonne won the applause this Monday in the 1-1 draw between Silkeborg IF against Brøndby in the Danish Superliga. The Peruvian national team player achieved the final equality of the match thanks to a great individual maneuver. The home team opened the scoring thanks to Ohioma Wonfo in the 55th minute. From then on, Silkeborg IF looked for parity until in the 80th minute their effort paid off with Sonne's goal. Tony Adamson failed in his final shot, but the ball remained in the Brøndby area, an action that was taken advantage of by the 23-year-old right-back who, as a Chalaca, surely scored the best goal of his career. Sonne was congratulated by his Silkeborg IF teammates that he was obliged to get a good result because he occupies the last position in the playoff. When will Sonne play again? Silkeborg IF's next duel will be against FC Fredericia, for the second leg of the Danish Cup semi-finals. The appointment is scheduled for Thursday, April 11th from 11 o'clock in the morning, Peruvian time. Fossati's request to Oliver Sonne. After the friendly matches against Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic last March, the Peruvian national team coach Jorge Fossati announced that Oliver Sonne must learn Spanish for a better adaptation in the two-color team. "My request to the players, to his teammates, in front of him, was precisely that they speak to him in Spanish all the time and that this was going to force him to come better studied next time," said the former Universitario de Deportes coach. Likewise, he stated that if he wants to come, it seems logical to me that someone who speaks another language adapts to the selection of a country. You have to adapt to the language of the country to which you belong and not have the country adapt to you, he added. Today University vs Junior from Barranquilla. What time do they play? Today University vs Junior from Barranquilla. What time do they play? The match between Universitario vs Junior de Barranquilla is played at 9 p.m., Peruvian time. The schedules in other parts of the world are as follows. Peru, 9 p.m. Colombia, 9 p.m. Ecuador, 9 p.m. Argentina, 11 p.m. Brazil, 11 p.m. Uruguay, 11 p.m. Chile, 10 p.m. Venezuela, 10 p.m. Bolivia, 10 p.m. Mexico, 8 p.m. United States, Miami, 10 p.m. United States, Los Angeles, 7 p.m. Spain, 4 a.m., Wednesday. The summoned. This is the list of those summoned that traveled to Barranquilla for the match against Junior for the Copa Libertadores. University vs Junior, possible alignments. University, Britos, Corzo, Riveros, Sarabia, Polo, Paris Gages, Ureña, Concha, Portocarrero, Rivera, Flores. Junior, Millet, Pacheco, Peña, Ceballos, Fuentes, Moreno, Cantillo, In Love, Cara, Caicedo, Baca. Jean Ferrari, administrator of the U, stated that in cup matches there is no easy match, and even more so given how Junior is coming along, having won against a Brazilian team, Botafogo. The Junior 11 is also confirmed. Santiago Mele, Walmer Pacheco, Jermaine Peña, Brian Ceballos, Gabriel Fuentes, Victor Cantillo, Didier Moreno, Jose Enamorado, Yumi Cara, Diber Caicedo, Carlos Baca. 11 confirmed university student. The starting team of the Cream Team against Junior was confirmed. Sebastian Britos, Aldo Corzo, Williams Riveros, Marcos Arabia, Andy Polo, Martin Perez Gages, Rodrigo Ureña, Jorge Muriguera, Segundo Portocarrero, Edison Flores and Jose Rivera. How does Universitario get into the match with them? Universitario will have a significant loss against Junior, since Christopher Gonzalez will not play due to a second-degree tear in the biceps femoris muscle of his right leg. In addition to having defeated the Ecuadorians at home on the first day of the Libertadores, they landed in the city of Barranquilla after beating Alianza Atlético Suyana 1-0 at home. What time does César Vallejo play versus Independiente Medellín, Copa Sudamericana 2024? What time does César Vallejo play versus Independiente Medellín for the 2024 Copa Sudamericana? César Vallejo vs Independiente Medellín live. Follow the minute-by-minute broadcast of the 2024 Copa Sudamericana match. César Vallejo vs Independiente Medellín live. They face each other this Wednesday, April 10th for the second date of Group A of the Copa Libertadores de America. The match will be played at the Atanasio Girardot Stadium, from 9 p.m. Peruvian time, and will be broadcast live on the Direct TV and DGO signal. You can also listen to the meeting on RPP's 89.7 FM and 7:30 AM and on Audiplayer. Independiente Medellín, DIM, hopes to alleviate its bad moment when it receives César Vallejo from Paulo Guerrero this Wednesday at the Atanasio Girardot Stadium, where both are obliged to win after debuting with defeats in Group A of the Copa Sudamericana. DIM, led by the Uruguayan Alfredo Arias, is going through a crisis of results, which has compromised its classification to the finals of the Colombian League, a situation aggravated by the 2-0 defeat against Always Ready in its first appearance in international competition. They continue to condemn us for our own mistakes, expressed Arias in his analysis of the moment, because after the setback at the height of El Alto, Poderoso tied 2-2 in their visit to Jaguares de Córdoba, a duel for the Apertura tournament, in which it had just been beaten 1-4 by América de Cali and occupies box 12 with 19 points. The Colombian runner-up played in the local championship with a mixed roster to give rest to its main players, including goalkeeper Eder Show, midfielders Jamie Alvarado, Diego Moreno, and Pablo Lima, while awaiting the recovery of striker Brian Leon, who due to discomfort muscular could not travel to Bolivia. Also in the medical department is the winger Jairo Moreno, with past in the Mexican teams Leon and Pachuca, as well as the Uruguayan center-back Jose Asia, the goalkeeper Jose Luis Chunga and Kenner Valencia, who have undergone surgery for their injuries. Meanwhile, César Vallejo's present is no less complex and is in the middle of a transition with the recent arrival of coach Guillermo Salas to the bench, which has not been the most pleasant because he has not been able to register victories and, furthermore, he debuted in the Sudamericana with a 0-1 defeat against Defensa y Justicia. We have been here for about 10 days, we have tried to correct along the way and we will continue to do so. "We are here to get Vallejo out of the uncomfortable position in the league and compete in the Sudamericana," commented the coach. El Poeta, with forward Paulo Guerrero as the main card, tied 2-2 on Saturday in their visit to Unión Comercio in the Peruvian tournament, in which they are in 16th place with 8 points. The Inca squad, which made official the incorporation of defender Manuel Ganoza, also faces absences from its roster due to injury, among them those of goalkeeper Jose Carvalho and midfielders Christian Benavente and Josimir Balón, while Uruguayan striker Facundo Rodriguez has been out since previous year due to a torn ligament in one knee. When does César Vallejo play versus STEM? The match between César Vallejo vs Independiente Medellín will be played this Wednesday, April 10th at the Atenasio Giraldo Stadium. What time does César Vallejo play versus Independiente Medellín? The match between César Vallejo vs Independiente Medellín is played at 9 p.m. Peruvian time. The schedules in other parts of the world are as follows: Peru, 9 p.m. Colombia, 9 p.m. Ecuador, 9 p.m. Argentina, 11 p.m. Brazil, 11 p.m. Uruguay, 11 p.m. Chile, 10 p.m. Venezuela, 10 p.m. Bolivia, 10 p.m. Mexico, 8 p.m. United States, Miami, 10 p.m. United States, Los Angeles, 7 p.m. Spain, 4 a.m. Wednesday. Universitario vs Junior 1-1, tie for Copa Libertadores 2024. Universitario vs Junior 1-1, goals of the tie for Copa Libertadores 2024. With a goal from Aldo Corzo, the Merengues managed to rescue a point in their visit to Barranquilla for the second date of Group D. They remain undefeated. Universitario vs Junior, the Cream team tied 1-1 against the Shark on Tuesday, April 9th, for match day 2 of Group D of the Copa Libertadores 2024. The match took place at the facilities of the Roberto Melendez Metropolitan Stadium. With a goal from Aldo Corzo 22 minutes into the first half, the U managed to rescue a point as a visitor, remain undefeated and add 4 points to share first place in the series with the Colombians, who have a better difference of goals. The locals were saved from defeat with a goal from Diber Caicedo, 44. Universitario will face Sport Boys on Saturday, April 13th for date 11 of the 2024 Liga 1 Apertura tournament. The next duel for the Libertadores will be against Botafogo on Wednesday the 24th for the third day of Group D. For its part, Junior will clash with Envigado on date 16 of the local tournament, and on Tuesday the 23rd he will play with LDU in Colombia in a cup duel. How does University arrive? Universitario comes to this match in a great moment, since it had an excellent debut in the Copa Libertadores by beating LDU de Quito 2-1 at the Monumental Stadium with a double from Jose El Tunche Rivera, who through effort earned a place in the starting 11 above Diego Doragre. Likewise, in the local championship they maintain a good pace, since they are second to Sporting Cristal with 24 points, obtained from their 7 wins and 3 draws in 10 games. This means that, since he took over as Cream coach replacing Jorge Fossati, Fabian Bustos does not know what defeat is. How does Junior arrive? Junior from Barranquilla comes to this match with the motivation of having delivered the big blow on the first day, by defeating Botafogo 3-1, a great favorite to qualify, as a visitor. Now they hope to revalidate this great result with a home victory that consolidates them at the top of the group. It should be noted that those led by Arturo Reyes have had an irregular start in the local championship, in which they are in 7th place with 24 points, the result of 7 wins, 3 draws and 5 losses. In their last presentation they were beaten 4-1 on their visit to América de Cali, although they used a team with many substitutes. His great figure is Carlos Bacca, a scorer with a successful career in Europe and the Colombian national team, who at 36 years old maintains his quality intact, having scored 8 goals in 13 games, 2 of them against Fogão. Other elements worth highlighting are midfielder Victor Contillo, recently arrived from Corinthians, and forward Marco Perez, top scorer in the coffee competition last year by scoring 28 goals with Águilas Doradas. Karol G in Lima, schedule, set list, Tickets and everything about the Bicata concert at the San Marcos Stadium. La Bicata in Lima, Peru. Karol G in Lima, schedule, set list, tickets and everything about the Bicata concert at the San Marcos Stadium. The representatives of the company organizing Karol G's concert at the San Marcos Stadium did not rule out the presence of guest artists. Expectation grows for Karol G's 2 presentations at the San Marcos Stadium. La Bicata was going to perform at the National Stadium, but the production company Bazaar Live Entertainment reported weeks ago that the decision to move the event was due to force majeure reasons that are beyond the artist's control. The Colombian singer arrived in Lima on her private plane, according to the program Amor y Fuego. Images released revealed the moment in which the interpreter got off the plane and was transferred by bus to the Jorge Chávez Airport, where she completed the procedures required by the authorities. Once outside the airport, Karol G was escorted to a hotel in the San Isidro district, where she will stay during her stay in Lima. It was observed that the artist was traveling in a completely tinted van, discreetly entering the hotel parking area. Schedule and dates of the Karol G concert in Lima. Karol G's presentations at the San Marcos Stadium are scheduled for Friday, April 12th and Saturday, April 13th. The show is scheduled to start at 9 p.m. and lasts for 2 hours. The representatives of the organizing company did not rule out the presence of guest artists. Will Karol have any Peruvian guests? I wouldn't like to give details about that because it is part of the surprise that she wants to give, but without a doubt, she is always surprising her fans, and let's hope that she does the same in Peru. It is not ruled out that she has a Peruvian guest, Daniel Marino, from Bazaar Live, told Trome. Ticket prices for Karol G in Lima. The sale of tickets for Karol G's concert at the San Marcos Stadium remains active, with different areas available at various prices. Mandatory ticket nomination for Karol G in Lima. An important measure announced by the production company Bazaar Live Entertainment is the mandatory nomination of tickets for Karol G's concert in Lima. This measure, designed to combat resale and guarantee the security of the event, will require attendees to provide their name and ID when purchasing tickets and upon entering the venue, entrance to the San Marcos Stadium to see Karol G. Safety recommendations to see Karol G in Lima. Arrive early. The doors of the San Marcos Stadium will open at 3 p.m. Do not put people on your shoulders during the concert. Do not run when entering and exiting the premises. Do not throw objects. Do not encourage or participate in situations that affect the safety of others. Restrictions and prohibited elements at the Karol G concert in Lima. Selfie sticks. Short sharp elements. Illegal substances. Laser pointers. Cameras with interchangeable lenses. Large backpacks and bags. Entry of food and drinks. Chairs, sun umbrellas and tents. Bottles. Karol G setlist in Lima. According to the previous presentations of her Tomorrow Will Be Nice tour, this is Karol G's possible setlist in Lima, which includes past and present hits of the Colombian artist. Set 1. TQG. Besties. My Bed. Boat. X If We Come Back, Night of Sex. Cobb. Bitterness. Set 2. The Mermaid Becomes the Bug. Bicata. Okie Dokie. One Night in Medellín. Clona. Say Hodiodo. G Point. Bicata. Carolina. Catwell. Ta OK Remix. Set 3. Ocean. But You. Mercury. To Her. Believe Me. Set 4. Carolina is Cured of Heart. While I Heal for My Heart. With You. Ferrari Eyes. Your Glasses. Cairo. My Ex Was Right. Karmika. Gucci Clothes. 200 Cups. Mamai. S91. Bitterness. Provenza/Provenza, Remix Tiesto, Tomorrow Will Be Nice Remix. What a Chimba of Life. Nice Kisses. Extraterrestrial Mummies in Peru, Nazca. Terrestrial Mummies in Peru, Nazca. The Peruvian authorities even interrupted an event by Jamie Maussan in which he showed alleged alien mummies on video. tremendous scandal broke out in Peru during the presentation of a new non-human mummy, since the prosecutor's office was present to take the evidence, just when Jaime Maussan and other researchers announced it in a private place, by surprise prosecutor officials. And the Ministry of Culture broke into the conference in which the Mexican researcher Jaime Maussan and Jaime Antilla from Peru presented Montserrat, this humanoid mummy with 3 fingers and just over 5 feet tall. The officials would have intended to take the Montserrat mummy and 3 others that were only shown on video. According to researchers, they have them in a safe place to prevent the Ministry of Culture of Peru from seizing it, which they are trying to do. To do is to prevent a discovery as transcendent as this from being truly known to the whole world. After the scandal, the authorities withdrew and the researchers revealed that Montserrat would be about 1,000 years old and about 4 months gestation, in addition to other characteristics. Montserrat has approximately between 12 and 16 metal implants, of which one stands out on the forehead that is yellow. We suspect it is gold. This presentation was called the definitive proof that we were never alone in the universe. What is being requested is that the government of Peru allows these bodies to be transferred to academic institutions that are qualified to carry out an investigation. Thus Maussan has filed $1 million lawsuit against the Peruvian state for saying that the mummies are staged or fake, compromising its prestige, requesting $300 million for the size of the defamation that has been made for having hindered a case that could change history and having done it without any type of investigation. The researchers assure that in total there are about 100 non-human bodies found in the same cave in the desert between Palpa and Nazca, the same ones that are waiting to be subjected to a rigorous investigation. The prosecutor's office and the Ministry of Culture of Peru announced that they will follow the trail of the mummies because if they were Peru's cultural heritage, the researchers would be in serious trouble for having taken them, even for research purposes, said Cultural Heritage. Leave us your comment and subscribe to continue growing and follow us on our social networks, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and TikTok.
Amigos, estamos transmitiendo en vivo y en directo también desde la ciudad de Lima, en un centro radiológico que ha tenido a bien brindarnos sus instalaciones para poder hacer las tomografías y que el mundo vea por dentro cómo son estos extraordinarios seres tridáctilos. Estamos en la última etapa. Si nos ayudas podemos mover un poquito la camilla para poder, ya que el público pueda ver. Estamos aquí con el ser tridáctilo que se llama Sebastián, un ser tridáctilo también, y Santiago, un pequeño de apenas 5 años según lo que se ha calculado, el cálculo hecho por los médicos forenses. Entonces, este ser llamado Sebastián, bautizado como Sebastián, es extraordinario porque tiene implantes metálicos, pero la gran duda de la ciencia siempre ha sido de que si son tridáctilos es porque han sido mutilados, porque han sido pies y manos serruchadas, como vilmente han dicho los científicos que no estudian, que no se han acercado nunca a estos cuerpos. Entonces estamos con 2 profesionales médicos, un forense y un experto en microcirugía, para que nos puedan decir exactamente su diagnóstico, y ya tenemos las imágenes que el tomógrafo nos acaba de revelar. Vamos para el otro, ¿no?
Así es, una oblicuidad más o menos de 45 grados, como podemos observar nosotros en ambas órbitas, ¿no? Si tenemos la zona de la nariz, también es una nariz muy pequeña con fosas nasales pequeñas, prácticamente una nariz aplanada. Cuando vemos ya la estructura ósea, si me la pueden colocar para poder observar, vemos que tiene toda la constitución de un cráneo muy parecido al humano. Incluso la dentición, las raíces dentarias, la articulación temporomandibular, pero nos llama la atención una placa de aspecto metálico que está en la región dorsal del cuello. No sé si la puedes...
Vamos a hacer un poquito de zoom hacia el cuello, porque es un implante que parece una bendita, es como muy delgado y envuelve la mitad de la nuca. Esto se parece mucho a algunos implantes que hemos encontrado, como bien lo definió el doctor José Salce, implantes sobre la piel que hemos encontrado en otros especímenes como Albert, cuyo implante generó crecimiento óseo alrededor, algo que fue determinado por el radiólogo en Cusco. Entonces, Sebastián lo que tiene extraordinario es que tiene 2 implantes también a nivel de las clavículas. Vamos a hacer un contraste para que se pueda ver, doctor. Ahí está, mire.
Ahí está, perfectamente. Cuando hacemos la reconstrucción, va a dar incidencia al metal, es que podemos observar otras 2 estructuras metálicas, además de la que tiene en la región dorsal del cuello, y que están más o menos al nivel de ambas clavículas.
Puesto.
¿Podemos ver las manos o los pies del otro ejemplar, por favor, señorita, de Santiago? Porque la verdad que...
Pero la diferencia entre los 2 cuerpos, ¿no? Santiago, o sea, hay uno que es diferencia, vamos a llamarle de edades. Casi son como lo mismo, pero en diferente estado de crecimiento. Uno de 3 a 5 años y otro, yo diría, pues como de 7 a 9, más o menos, calculando desde la perspectiva humana, ¿no? No la perspectiva de ellos, porque obviamente nosotros hacemos nuestro paradigma humano. Pero esta tridactilia es auténtica y no tiene signos de haber sido cortado. Es decir, si usted ve en esta reconstrucción 3D, que es por imágenes, con tecnología, no hay signos de que haya habido un escalón que le faltó. O sea, no hay... Y toda la articulación es coherente, es auténtica. No hay forma que haya sido hecho. Es decir, tiene autenticidad, correlación desde la interósea y además no hay evidencia de manipulación.
Y para los escépticos, digamos, a los que piensan que podría haber sido una mutilación post-mortem, eso también, por lo que me acaba de decir, está descartado.
Completamente descartado, ¿no? Es decir, la persona que está hablando, si habla de esa manera, quiere decir que no tiene ninguna idea de lo que significa anatomía humana, ni pre-mortem ni post-mortem.
Bueno, cualquier peatón puede venir, mirar y opinar, no simplemente decir que es un cuerpo mutilado, ese es un fraude más, o cosas de ese estilo.
No, como una opinión del mercado, ¿no? Pero me refiero, yo estoy opinando como experto en cirugía plástica y en medicina forense, y como past president de la Sociedad Peruana de Medicina Legal del Perú, y dando fe que estos cuerpos son auténticos y estas tomografías.
They minimize Miss Grand International Luciana Fuster. Miss Earth 2023 shares an image that minimizes Miss Grand International, Luciana Fuster. Miss Earth 2023, Drita Siri, sparked a strong controversy on social networks after publishing an image that includes herself among the Big Five, that is, the most important Grand Slam competitions in the world. However, what has captured global attention is not her inclusion, but the way the image downplays the current Miss Grand International, Luciana Fuster. What is the controversy between Miss Earth and Miss Grand? Albanian model Drita Siri reposted on her Instagram stories, an image edited by the now deleted fandom account Wert Hearth, titled The Big Five Queens and showing Drita Siri, Miss Earth, Shanice Palacios, Miss Universe, Carolina Bielowska, Miss World, Andrea Rubio, Miss International, and Luciana Fuster, Miss Grand International. The first 4 beauty queens appear standing looking majestic, while the Peruvian poses from the ground, without any glamour. Luciana Fuster's followers interpreted the publication as a message of hate that denigrates the image of Miss Grand International. This incident fueled the already existing rivalry between fans of both beauty pageants, as some believe that Miss Grand took Miss Earth's place within the Big Five. Did Miss Earth 2023 apologize to Miss Grand International? After the controversy broke out, Luciana Fuster's followers launched harsh criticism towards Drita Siri, accusing her of envy and nicknamed her Miss Barrow. Faced with her adverse reaction, the Albanian beauty queen acted quickly. She deleted the post from her Instagram stories and blocked comments on most of her posts, except for those that were collaborations with brands. Likewise, Miss Earth 2023 made a new story where she explained that her intention in sharing the photo was not to offend or denigrate anyone, she had simply reposted the image. For me it was just a fan post. It wasn't directed at anyone in a bad way. Respect to all pageant queens. I am not promoting or inciting hatred towards anyone. Drita Siri, Miss Earth 2023. Friday, April 5, 2024. Instagram. In response to Drita Series post, Thai beauty queen and Miss Grand Supanbori 2024 Kanokwan Nansungnan shared her opinion via Facebook. She advised Miss Earth 2023 to be more aware of her actions in the future, saying, "I appreciate that you recognize that Miss Grand International is one of the top 5 pageants in the world. However, I urge you to be more considerate in your future actions." Kanokwan Nansungnan, Miss Grand Supanbori 2024. Friday, April 5, 2024. Facebook, what did Luciana Fuster, Miss Grand International 2023, say? The so-called Golden Queen, Luciana Fuster, did not speak directly about the controversy with Drita Siri, Miss Earth 2023. However, 2 days before the controversy broke out, she expressed her anger at the comparisons that some users make on social networks between beauty queens from different pageants. "There is something that doesn't make me happy at all. I don't know if it's been forever or if the unfortunate habit of making comparisons between current queens from different pageants just became fashionable. Each contest is different and they evolve year after year. The most important thing is that each one is living a dream, and that is what must be supported and congratulated on each one's path. To support yours, there is no need to criticize others. We are all unique and we want to enjoy our reigns in peace with the respect we deserve." Luciana Fuster, Miss Grand International 2023. Cassandra Sánchez denies participation of trans beauty queen Alondra Chamochumbi in Miss Peru 2024. Cassandra Sánchez denies participation of trans beauty queen Alondra Chamochumbi in Miss Peru 2024. The Miss Peru organization responded to the controversy unleashed by transgender beauty queen Alondra Johanna Chamochumbi, by stating that she was in talks to participate in the national beauty contest, with the aim of succeeding the current queen Camila Escribans, and being the Peru's first trans representative in the next edition of Miss Universe to be held in Mexico. Will Miss Peru have a transgender candidate? Alondra Johanna Chamochumbi, a transgender model and beauty queen, stated in an interview with the TikTok channel, Sarah Roche, that she felt excited at the prospect of being the first trans candidate to participate in Miss Peru 2024. "I can't say anything because we are in full talks with the organization, but we are going to have surprises. I believe that the voice is being there. Today the possibility has opened up to me. And Miss Universe already allows transgender girls to compete, and Miss Peru has already opened the doors." Alondra Johanna Chamochumbi, Miss Peru Trans Princess 2022. Likewise, Alondra Chamochumbi stated that a meeting had already been agreed upon with Jessica Newton, president of Miss Peru. On Wednesday, March 13, the famous Instagram portal, Arquitecto de Misses, belonging to the mixologist Jesus Hernandez, broadcast the interview and unleashed all kinds of reactions for and against, highlighting the responses of the Peruvian beauty queens Luna Michelle and Leticia Rivera. "All that is false in the first place, find out carefully." Luna Michelle, Miss International Queen Peru 2023. "It shows that you like your job/hobby. You are very good at what you do. I am sure you will go very far with this type of publications." Leticia Rivera, Woman of the Universe 2022. What did the Miss Peru organization respond? Cassandra Sánchez de la Madrid, Director of National Franchises of Miss Peru and daughter of Jessica Newton, President of the platform, responded to the publication of Arquitecto de Misses and denied any conversation with Alondra Chamochumbi about competing in Miss Peru 2024. "Currently our organization is not in any conversation with this young lady. We are a platform that invites all women to compete for their dream of representing our country, but we do not agree with misinformation or lies. This news is false, we are not in talks nor have we had any approach with her." Cassandra Sánchez de la Madrid, Director of Miss Peru. However, his response caused some concern. One user questioned, "Did you say women? Does that imply that a transgender woman is not welcome in Miss Peru? Be careful with your words, you could suffer the same fate as Lupita in Mexico and lose the franchise." As recalled, at the end of 2023, Lupita Jones lost the direction of the Miss Universe Mexico franchise, after 3 decades in that position, after expressing more than once her refusal to admit transgender candidates to represent her country in the Miss Universe. Faced with this warning, Cassandra Sánchez de la Madrid urged a careful reading of her words and reiterated, "I don't make a distinction, for me a trans woman is a woman, nothing more." Who is Alondra Chamochumbi? Alondra Johanna Chamochumbi is a prominent figure within the LGBTQ+ community. On her Instagram, where she has more than 2,200 followers, she describes herself as a model, stylist and image consultant. On TikTok, her audience numbers more than 6,000 users. In early February 2024, Alondra Chamochumbi was presented as an official candidate to compete for the Miss International Trans Peru crown. Her career in beauty pageants includes being named Princess Miss Peru Trans 2022, and with that title she participated in the Fashion Week Peru USA 2023. She also appeared as director of the Costa International Peru 2020 pageant and Miss Trans Universe Peru 2021. Iran launched